TikTok people, welcome back to yet another video. Welcome back to my channel. Please go ahead and subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet, and become a part of my little YouTube community that I've worked very hard to build over the years, or not, but you know, either way you're here. So I want to get right into today's topics because I have two things that I want to talk about. The first thing that I wanted to talk about is basically, well, I'm going to be covering two different topics that I feel can be very helpful and are also extremely common in our current society, and just dealing with social media and all of the above. Life can get a little bit overstimulating and can really affect us in a really intense way. So I kind of wanted to talk about today two different things. The first thing is the harm that overproductivity can do to you, being overly productive, and how it can low-key be a trauma response and a way to kind of escape your actual like obstacles, or how you're actually feeling, actually having to sit with your emotions, stuff of that nature. And then secondly, just what to do and ways to help yourself when you are feeling empty, or your life feels a bit empty, or you just feel like lost and need some type of redirection. The biggest thing that I want to preface everything that I'm gonna say is that obviously these are like my perspectives and based on my lived experience, and I always want to start with that because, again, I'm not like a professional mental health like person or anything of that nature, or a life coach by any means. I genuinely just like sharing my personal life experience, and I feel like that's what I've done just throughout my channel, throughout the years in general. So that's something that I do want to continue to do as I move forward with my content and stuff like that. So first and foremost, like I said, over productivity. I feel like when I was in college, by the way, I'm 28 right now, but when I was in college, I feel like I was definitely like overly productive. I felt like by being overly productive, I was accomplishing and doing all these different things. You guys, I literally was joining like all these clubs. I worked on campus. I had my own like little club organization. I was just like booked and busy, overly booked and busy. I didn't even have the time to sit, aside from also having school and family and all these different things. I used it as like a tool to kind of like distract myself, and from really like dealing with my internal issues and like the stuff that I had going on emotionally. And I feel like a lot of us do that because we live in a society that tells us like hustle. Like we live in a very much like hustle culture context of America. Like that's really what this whole country is funded on. So I feel like you feel like if you're being productive, then you know you're being of service, you're getting places. And although those things may be true, at the same time you also have to chill. And I've learned over the years that not doing shit is also very productive, like especially for your mental health. Like not doing shit and like just being posted at home and like, you know what I'm saying, reading a book, or just like sleeping in and sleeping longer than you usually do, or just going on a walk. Like those things are also productive because, again, everything has to do with balance. And if you're constantly like hustle, like bro, you're gonna burn yourself out, and you're ultimately just not going to be happy. Because personally with me, when I reflect on when I was like overly productive, like I wasn't really like getting anywhere, because mentally like I was burnt out. Like I wasn't feeling like the best version of myself, but I was like on paper, and you know, I really just felt like I was doing the damn thing, but in reality it was really slowly burning me out. So like I said, being productive is a great thing. Working towards your goals is a great thing. Being ambitious is a great thing. All of those are great qualities, but like the time is going nowhere, you guys. Like we have our whole entire life to get to where we want to get to. That's another thing to where like as I've gone older, I've learned that there is no timeline like on your goals and stuff like that. So don't ever feel like, even if you do feel like social pressure about whatever it is that you want to do, just focus on what it is that you're passionate about, do it, you feel me, and day by day you'll get there, you know. So that's that on being overproductive. Definitely stop yourself, reflect, definitely journal if you journal, and reflect on why you're being overly productive, because I feel like I definitely had to, and I learned and gained a lot of insight about myself and where I was at mentally, and I learned that it wasn't as positive as I thought it was. So and I've learned to have like a positive balance with that nowadays. I feel like I definitely prioritize my mental health aside from anything else. So like if my mental health is shit, like best believe I'm not about to be prioritizing work or anything like that. And then the second topic that I wanted to touch on today is essentially like what to do when you feel like your life is a bit empty. And by that I mean like you can feel depressed from so many different things. There's so many different factors that influence a human being and the way that we feel about ourselves. We out here dealing with traumas and things that we're healing from just throughout our life in general. So it's like, you know, it's not one thing or another that can make us feel this way, but it is a common feeling, especially again in this society where we are struggling to stay alive, we are struggling to survive, we are struggling to afford life in general, and dealing with a shitty job market, dealing with crazy politics, dealing with crazy things going on globally. So it could just be a lot, and I don't think we stop and acknowledge that it can be a lot at times. So the biggest thing that I would say, if you feel like your life is empty, or you feel like you're not, like you don't feel the best, or you may just feel depressed for whatever reason, like really first and foremost, go outside. I don't give a fuck where you live. Okay, I guess it does impact, because like don't go outside if it's like raining or fucking 0 degrees, but I'm saying like go, if you live somewhere that there's sunny and there's sunny, you know, days, and like there's an opportunity for you to go to a park or to go hiking or whatever, just get outside, move your body. Like moving your body does wonders, and getting out in the sun does wonders. I used to really like not believe when people said that like the sun really cures your depression, but like it really does, bro. Like sometimes you just really got to go touch grass and like get out there. So the first thing that I would say, if you're feeling that way or you're feeling down about life in general, definitely go outside, definitely do some type of exercise, move your body, walk, do whatever you can to just kind of like get those endorphins going in your body naturally, because that's gonna naturally help you. The chemicals, like a lot of people, they're chronically online and just scrolling for hours, and then they're like, wait, why am I feeling depressed, and why do I feel like life doesn't mean anything? And it's like, dude, you're literally numb as fuck, like chronically online. Like, do you work out? Do you go outside? Do you eat some healthy food? Like, what do you do? So that brings me to my next one. My next one would be your nutrition. Definitely take your nutrition seriously. Like the stuff that you're eating, bro, is insane, and the stuff that America puts in our food is fucking crazy in itself. So there's that as well. I'm gonna put this app that I also found for you guys to download, bro. And obviously that shit is not sponsored at all, but you guys need to download it. It's called Yuka, I believe, and you can scan like a bunch of like food items and see what it contains, and I promise you, you're gonna eat so different just off of seeing what is put in our food. And then the third thing that I would say is definitely like try to reach out to some family or friends. If you ain't got no friends, then you feel me, make it a constant effort to try to make friends. It's difficult to make friends the older you get. That's just a fact of life. I don't know why. No one warns you. So if you're struggling with making friends, or you don't have friends, like definitely try to see what community events they're hosting in your hometown, wherever you're at. Go on Eventbrite and search up different events. Just try your best to put yourself out there. Even if you're an introvert, I don't care. Like just try your hardest, because that's the only way you're gonna get anywhere, by putting yourself out there. And lastly, I would say do something that makes you happy. And I know it sounds corny, but like for me personally, like the biggest thing that makes me happy and brings me constant joy is literally music. Like I can't live my life without music. I don't see my life without music, okay? Like I will do content and videos around music very soon here, because it's just such a huge part of my life. But definitely do something that brings you joy, like play some music, or for me, like I collect vinyls, I go thrifting. Like just find some hobbies that fill your life and that make you happy, because ultimately, and I'll end it here, ultimately you come into this world by yourself, you're gonna leave this world by yourself, and the biggest thing is to be happy with yourself, and to be able to navigate life on your own as well, with obviously the support and love and connections on the way, but just most importantly building that connection with yourself. So yeah, that was my little video today. I hope you learned something from what I said, or just gained some insight, or took anything relevant, positive from this video. If you like this video, definitely go ahead and subscribe to my channel for more content. Follow me on TikTok, on Instagram, and Threads. Those are like the only apps I'm really